Good afternoon, everybody. On this Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, I got all your stories for your rush hour ride home. We'll be talking about Luigi Mangione. A judge has dropped several of the biggest charges against him in his alleged plot against healthcare CEO. Big story. This is going to be shaking up the news. And also Charlie Kirk, all of the updates regarding the Department of Justice saying they'll be coming after people and employers for certain reasons. You're not going to believe why. And then Kash Patel in the hot seat over Epstein, resulting in a big clash, fights with different senators. We'll get into that. I mean, it's an absolute mess out there. But let's start things off with Fyre Fest. Let's start things off with TikTok. It was set to be banned this week. Trump says they've worked out another deal.
Well, we have a deal on TikTok. I've reached a deal with China. I'm going to speak to President Xi on Friday to confirm everything up. We made a very good trade deal, and I hope good for both countries, but a very different deal than they'd made in the past.
All right. I'm waiting with bated breath as to what the deal will be that they made with China revolving around trade and social media app TikTok. I have no idea. I won't speculate, but we'll have to. What if the deal is you have to watch Donald Trump's TikToks before you watch other ones? You know, when you get ads at the beginning of a video, it's just him. It's like you can be a part of this app, but you have to listen to what I have to say. Fyre Fest, speaking of things we don't want to attend, Fyre Fest is in the news. We've got a new owner. It's not Ryan Reynolds. I guess the rumor was that Ryan Reynolds was going to buy Fyre Fest. Why not? The guy's rich. Go buy it. See if it can crash and burn the way your wife has. Fyre Festival is ready for its next chapter. The infamous music festival has been acquired by LimeWire 8 years after its initial chaotic launch. Can you believe it's been 8 years? That's absolutely crazy. Reps for LimeWire tell TMZ the software company has acquired the Fyre Festival brand with the purpose of launching a whole new project under this collaboration. The acquisition came about after a bidding war with Ryan Reynolds' company Maximum Effort. Did you guys know that Ryan Reynolds was in a bidding war for Fyre Fest? I was joking around about buying Fyre Fest. I should have gotten in the fray. Maybe we should have Fyre Fest, sponsored by the Rush Hour podcast. Either way, LimeWire, if you're not an elder millennial, was the app we all used to listen to All American Rejects back in the day when you were illegally downloading music. The glory days, as it were. Two of the internet's most infamous names are now under one roof. And no, this isn't about repeating past mistakes. Together, two of the most talked about names in internet history are starting a new chapter built on transparency, tech, and a healthy dose of humor. In fact, LimeWire secured the Fyre brand after a bidding war that even included Ryan Reynolds and his agency Maximum Effort. Reynolds jokes, "Congrats to LimeWire. I look forward to attending their first event, but will be bringing my own pallet of water. We're not bringing the festival back. We're bringing the brand and the meme back to life, this time with real execution," says the CEO of LimeWire. What's next? Over the coming months, LimeWire will unveil a reimagined vision for Fyre, one that expands beyond the digital realm and taps into real-world experiences. No! Make the festival! Can somebody just put on the Fyre Fest already and do it right? For the sake of all of those that went to the first one and didn't have a good go around, if they can figure out Burning Man in a desert in the middle of nowhere, surely we can put on Fyre Fest. If The Bachelor can sell overpriced tickets for a cruise to see our good pals Justin Glaze and Susie Evans grind on the dance floor, a boy can dream, then I would imagine that we could figure out Fyre Fest. I guess not. Ned Fulmer breaks his silence on devastating cheating scandal 3 years after leaving the Try Guys. Now, I have been accused of being a low-rent Temu version of the Try Guys. Maybe I am. I don't know. Try Dave. But either way, I don't know if you guys remember this. I can't believe it's been 3 years. He was this sort of like golden boy image, and he was caught cheating, I guess, with a coworker. It tore up this brand, and if you don't know the Try Guys, they're a really big brand on YouTube and BuzzFeed and whatever else they were on. I actually knew a member of the Try Guys and spoke to him, and they were pissed off. I mean, imagine someone breaking up the band over their own sort of selfishness. You know, a lot of lives and jobs were at stake. But either way, he's got a new podcast coming out, and of course, he's going to be using the tell-all, as a way to push that content. I'm not in a rush to go listen to it, but good luck, I guess. A new law in Canada is making ghosting job candidates illegal. This is great news. I love Canada is just on the forefront of what we all want. You know how annoying it is to try to submit for a job and you never hear back, or even interview for a job and you just get left on red? Not in Canada, not starting January 1st, 2026.
A new law in Canada will make ghosting job candidates illegal. Employers in Ontario, Canada will soon have to comply with a new law taking effect on January 1st, 2026. They must notify all job applicants of publicly advertised job postings of the outcome of their application within 45 days of their last interview.
I think that's great. And can we do that with dating too? Rebecca, I'm still waiting on a callback from 1997. No, I'm kidding. But am I? We've all been ghosted on. There's hauntings happening out there, but yeah, that makes sense. I hate the gatekeepers and the brick walls you got to jump over just to apply to a job. A lot of times they don't even tell you what the salary would be. It's a big waste of time. It's nice to see somebody cares about the employees. You know me, Union Dave. I'm all here about helping employees, not have to deal with not even knowing the status of jobs they've either applied to or interviewed for and whatnot. All right, this story's been going viral. Before we get into Luigi Mangione, let's talk about the sort of egos that exist in country music. This is Zach Bryan versus Gavin Adcock. I don't know Gavin Adcock. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Zach Bryan, he's obviously a famous country musician, but here they are on opposite sides of a chain link fence. I guess they've had a beef, going back to like some, fighting in the comment section, and they were on the same music festival over the weekend. And here, watch this. This is Zach Bryan on the left, trying to fight Gavin on the right, but they're separated by a giant chain link fence. So Zach Bryan climbs the chain link fence, which has barbed wire at the top, and there he goes trying to fight Gavin. Now, Gavin was accused of running away, but he was actually about to perform his set. He said he didn't want to disappoint his fans. I mean, this would be a great advertisement for BetterHelp. They're not a sponsor this week, but wouldn't this be nice? I'll tell you what, there is one way that you can chill. Rather than throwing beers at each other, why don't they just calm down and have an afternoon drink of some Tropical Smoothie Cafe? Today's episode of the Rush Hour Podcast is sponsored by Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one of my favorites. Ooh, are they delicious. Start your day with a protein-packed breakfast from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Oh, you thought they only had delicious smoothie options? You're mistaken. Pair that smoothie with a toasted breakfast wrap, order ahead online, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Like to customize things? Add more good vibes to your smoothie. Fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach and kale, chia seeds, or supplements like protein and Energizer. My favorite smoothie is the Peanut Paradise, chock full of 22 grams of protein. My wife loves the mixed berry Greek yogurt bowl topped with fresh strawberries and blueberries, which comes with a whopping 26 grams of protein. Make every day a getaway with our bold flavors and better for you pairings only at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now. Now back to the show. All right, we are back with the highlight of part one of today's Afternoon Rush, which is the Luigi Mangione story. Now listen, Luigi Mangione accused of mowing down, the healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Seems like it's pretty cut and dry in the sense that there's video of it. But the question is, what are they going to charge him with? Are they going to charge him with murder, terrorism? I mean, there's certain charges that might constitute the death penalty. Well, now the judge is dismissing the terrorism charges against him. And there could be a chance, if it goes to trial, that a jury just decides to turn a blind eye. I mean, this could absolutely happen. Have a listen.
Luigi Mangione, the accused killer of the United Healthcare CEO, has just been in a court hearing, and we have just learned that a New York State judge has dismissed state terrorism charges against Mangione. Now, he still faces federal charges, other state charges too in Pennsylvania, all of which he has pleaded not guilty to.
So what's interesting about this is I don't condone violence, but I think we are smart enough that we can discuss it. So why he felt if he did this, which we assume he did, but he's going to get a fair trial. But why did he decide to execute the CEO of United Healthcare? And this question is being asked by both sides of the aisle. It's not just on the left or on the right. Everyone has healthcare that sucks. We're all getting robbed by insurance companies. It's an absolute scam. The question seems to be those of us that have been scammed enough that want to do something about it and not. Now, I don't think murdering a CEO is the solution, but what should happen is the conversation should move forward regardless. The conversation of this system really does suck. And I think that's fair. So the terrorism charges dropped, a big legal victory, tosses out murder in the first degree in furtherance of an act of terrorism and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism. The judge cited precedent saying the terrorism statute cannot be interpreted so broadly so as to cover individuals or groups who are not normally viewed as terrorists. So you can't just call someone a terrorist, right? And the fact that there was, no other collateral damage, I think shows that maybe it's not terrorism. It's possibly, is it political? You could say everything's political. I don't think healthcare should be political, although it is part of the political conversation. But it shouldn't be in the sense that we should reframe the way we talk about healthcare. We should reframe it as a conversation about a right we should all have in a country where we give healthcare to firemen and senators and the president. And why don't we give it to the mom and the random folks that don't get it from their employers? Why should we dangle things that we need, to exist over our head, with certain employees versus others? It's absolute criminal, right? I think it is. Well, here's Luigi Mangione's lawyer, just right now, hot off the press, discussing this big win they had today.
With Luigi.
It's a great day. It's a big win, and it's the first of many.
How do you feel about the fans?
Look at that, fans. They're yelling "Free Luigi." What you see here is a lot of people supporting Luigi. They're yelling "Free Luigi," and this is anecdotal. This isn't the way everyone feels, but enough people willing to go to the courthouse and shout it, in person, and you see Luigi's lawyers showing up. I don't even know why. Were they going to make a statement? I don't really understand what was going on, but it's really hard to contextualize what's going on in our country because I don't support violence of any kind. But to see the response from people over the Luigi Mangione issue, a response that isn't just far left people or far right. There's a lot of reasonable people that are like, yeah, it's so messed up what healthcare insurance companies have done. They've been so greedy. We're surprised something like this never happened sooner. That's the way a lot of people feel. It's like, how many folks are going to get absolutely robbed blind, literally? How many folks are going to get robbed blind before some person takes matters into their own hands? And we watch that happen. And I think when people yell "Free Luigi," I'm not endorsing what he did. He's getting a fair trial. But I think when people yell "Free Luigi," they are expressing their disgust over the robbery that exists with the health insurance industry. We see it firsthand. I spend thousands of dollars a month and get nothing in return. When I finally need help, I get slapped with hundreds and thousands of dollars of bills. Where's the justice there? Where's the justice in the CEOs and the executives making millions upon millions, and we're told to just cut back on our Starbucks order? Where's the justice there? So when something as tragic as what happened with Luigi Mangione, the alleged murder of the healthcare CEO, when we see that, a lot of people don't have that empathy because they're fed up. They're too busy worrying about their families. And when people are living on the fritz like that, they are living in despair. And that's the most dangerous population out there, a population living in despair. What can we do to make this situation better? Well, we can have a more affordable world to live in the richest country in the world, right? We can provide health care to everybody so we don't live, white knuckling it like if someone sneezes on us, it's going to wipe us out financially. Or if we slip on ice, we're going to break an ankle and not afford all of the money we save for retirement. These are real issues real people have. So I will not judge anybody who yells "Free Luigi." I just won't. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk about the other massive news story of the year, of course, Charlie Kirk. We have the Department of Justice now saying they will come after individuals who share opinions about Charlie Kirk that they disagree with. That story next.